Hi there, I'm Lily. Welcome back to the dojo. So, today we've got some really cool stuff that we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering defense and all sorts of ways to stop yourself from getting hit. Whether it's using a parry, grounding an incoming structure, or deflecting it entirely. We're going to be going over the basics for how to defend yourself in every situation. So, let's get straight into it. Alright, and to help out with this one, I've got help from a special friend, Koo. Hello! So, Koo's going to be helping me out to demonstrate all of this cool defensive and deflection tech that we're going to be going over today. So, thank you very much, Koo.
Anytime.
Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with the very basics, using parry to stop an incoming structure. This is literally what the parry move is designed for. So it's really easy, you just put up your hands when a structure is coming at you. This will be harder to do on client because you will have the ping disadvantage. So I definitely recommend getting used to it on host first. So, let's see this in a practical demonstration. As you saw, I was able to stop the incoming structure. Now, even if it's grounded, say a grounded cube, I'm still able to parry it. See? Easy as that. Parry is really useful and really versatile. It's able to block all sorts of structures coming in. So now we're going to be moving on to the next defensive technique, and that's grounding an incoming structure. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using the stomp or ground move to stop a structure that is coming in at us. Now this is really useful if there is an ungrounded structure coming at us, such as someone cutting a cube at us or sending a ball straight at us. This will not work if the structure is already grounded. It just won't. So you need to keep that in mind. Alright, let's see this in a demonstration. As you saw, I was able to easily ground the incoming cube. Now, it's really important that the cube is ungrounded. If it's any structure that is already grounded coming at you, it's not going to work. Alright, let's see this. You saw? I tried to ground the pillar because it was already grounded, it didn't work, and it just hit me instead. So you need to be really careful when you choose to use ground to make sure that structure is already ungrounded. So now we're going to be doing a really exciting move, but it's a bit more challenging. It's called the RTS, or Return to Sender. And what this does is it takes an incoming structure and it returns it to the sender. So, how we're going to be doing this is when a structure is coming in at us, we're going to hold the incoming structure, and then we're going to send it back at the opponent. To do it today, we're just going to hold and then straight. You can use this against the Howard bot to practice it and get more used to the move, because it is more challenging. So, let's see it in practice. See? Just like that. I hold, and then I straight. I hold, and then I straight. And it's even more effective if you can do the two moves close together. So we'll see that. I hold, and then I immediately straight. And you can get into nice, neat little tennis matches with your friends. So the next move we're going to be doing is kicking a structure to get it to go over our heads. Now this one is really hard because it has a really short window to use, and it is also very niche because it can't be used on every structure. Most of the time, when you try and do this, you're going to end up clobbering yourself in the head, which is not very good. So, you need to be really careful when you choose to use it, and practice a lot before you use it in matches. So, let's see it in action. As you saw, just like that, I was easily able to kick the pillar, and it went over my head. Now, you need to be really careful, because if you try and do this with something like a wall uppercut, you're gonna be in for a bad time. Let's see that. All I was able to do was kick it to get it to go right back in my face. So what you want to use there instead is maybe a parry, an RTS, or if it is already ungrounded, use the ground move. Now this is probably one of the more important ways to defend yourself in Rumble, and that is by just dodging an incoming structure by moving in real life. So if you only have a small play space, you're only going to be able to do things like ducking or minor changes left and right, but if you have a larger play space, then you're going to be able to go all around, all sorts of dodging, and you're going to have this really easy at your fingertips. So let's see this in action. I'm just going to move my body away from the incoming structure. As you saw, I was able to duck and dodge away from the balls that were incoming. Now let's see that from another angle. And now we've got a different angle to show you what I'm doing in a better direction. See? It's really easy for me to be able to move and dodge out of the way of those incoming structures. So this is definitely something you want to practice. And now, following off of that IRL dodging, we are now going to add to that. So I recommend getting comfy dodging before you move on to this next one. You can practice with the Howard bot how to dodge in the gym. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to turn, and then we're going to punch the incoming object and then turn back. It's really important that we do the full turn to face the object, do the punch, and then turn back. If we just do the punch like that, it's not going to work. If we do that, it's not going to work. We need to turn, punch, and then turn back. Easy as that. So let's see that in action. You see? Every time I am turning to face the incoming ball, I'm punching it away, and then I'm turning back. So that is how you do this move. And we're going to move on to the final piece of tech now. So what we can do is we can disc and backstep. So what disc does is it sends out a disc, but it also gives us a bit of knockback. And if you know the move speed disc, you can put those two together and you'll get even more knockback. So we're able to use this to go away from an incoming structure to make it miss us. So let's see that in action. As you saw, I was able to easily disc straight to get enough knockback to go away from the wall that was coming at me. This is really useful if you want to try and stay mobile and move away from your enemy's structures rather than trying to RTS, parry, or ground them. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you had a really nice time learning all of the cool defensive tech that we've had to offer. Next time, we're going to be going over all of the changes that the new quest update has had, and all of like the new maps, how all the different maps look. We're going to be going over where everything is, because I've found a lot of people have been getting lost when they want to go into a fight. So all that sort of stuff. We'll be going over where everything is. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday. So I will see you all then. So go have a few matches, play with this defensive tech, and most importantly, have a great time.